Sipiwe, thank you very, very much. Have a fantastic day, and thanks so much for being there for us today. All right, so let's wrap up things here at Meetings Africa, and I'm just going to throw a couple of numbers at you because it's quite incredible to see how much business comes in from just this event alone. Last year, estimated economic impact of the buyers that attended was over 3.3 billion rand. There's a figure for you. Here's another figure for you. More than 260 exhibitors at this year's Meetings Africa. So all around here, you'll see over 260 exhibitors, and it ranges from hotels, convention centers, to speakers, to people that are in charge of technology, and you name it, it is all here. It's quite incredible. There are 307 buyers that will be attending this year's Meetings Africa. And on the sidelines, there are about 5,200 meetings that have already been planned over the next couple of days with people that are here for exhibits and that are also making sure that they do get business out of this. So it really is a massive, massive event that takes place in the city of Johannesburg. So it makes sense that I actually talked to Thandobuhle Mgulwa, who is the Director of Tourism for the city of Joburg. Good to have you here on Morning Live. Thanks so much for being our guest.
Good morning, Leanne. Thanks very much for having us.
I mean, I just looked at a couple of the figures that are coming out of here. I mean, this is a big boost for the city to host an event like this. It has been hosted here for previous years, but you know, in terms of the city's perspective, this event and the importance that you play.
Strategic partners like conferencing associations like SABC, and work closely with other strategic partners like Gauteng Tourism Authority and South African Tourism and other international travel trade partners. Leanne, it's important to note that City of Joburg in the previous year on International Congress and Convention Association rankings have actually improved from 186 to 113, and from number in global rankings, in African rankings, from number 5 to number 2, and that made us to be behind Cape Town, which secured 54 meetings in the previous year, and we secured 23 meetings, and after us it's Kigali. So that's good competitiveness that demonstrates good performance for the city in enhancing its efforts to attract more meetings in the city. We have, through the Global MasterCard Index, we have attracted 4,570,000 visitors or travelers into the city, and most of those are visitors based on the nature of our offerings. We remain committed as a competitive city to secure more meetings. We are in other strategic partners like conferencing industry to strengthen our efforts to lobby and bid for more meetings into the city, and we're hoping to achieve more and improve our competitiveness. And on Euromonitor International Top 100 most visited international destinations, we have improved to rank number 37, and we're proud to mention that we're the only African city that has made it.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's important for the city. It has a reputation of being a business hub, not only in South Africa, but for Africa as well. So, you know, when you kind of look at the different conferences, the different meetings that are held here, I mean, what would you specifically say are sort of the very big ones that we've managed to have here, and some looking forward that we could look at for this year, 2019, that are already confirmed to be taking place?
All right. In meetings that have been confirmed, the niche areas, it's in advertising space, tourism space, medical sector, fishing, forestry, and agriculture. Those are thriving sectors in meetings that we have secured for this year already. And what is critical to note, we are embarking on a partnership with the South African Conferencing Association industry to look at how can we strengthen our competitiveness in exploring other sectors that have got potential to lay meetings in Johannesburg. So in view of, in respect of what you're talking about, we working closely with South African Tourism and GTA to co-bid for meetings so that we can maximize impact and secure meetings to stimulate economic growth more for the city, for the benefit of the sector, the communities, and the republic itself, because we believe that Johannesburg that works, it's a South Africa that works. As an important business destination in Africa, we're putting concerted efforts to become more than a stopover, so that we can extend the length of stay from business travelers and convert them to become leisure travelers, because we've got diverse offerings. Joburg is well known for business, but it's not limited to business offering. It has got a vast number of leisure tourism offerings as well for the enjoyment of the stay, because if you look at it, the average stay now for a tourist, for a business traveler that comes to South Africa, it's 7 days in the country, but then they stay for 5 days, focusing on the purpose for travel. So we get a major proportion of the number of days for that particular traveler.
Which is so important, and I know we've addressed that quite a lot. One of the issues, and I think it's quite important to address, and I received a tweet from one of our viewers. I unfortunately don't have my phone with me to be able to sort of read it, but I can paraphrase it in terms of, and it's a big concern for a lot of tour operators. They come here, they bring visitors, but the filth in our cities is a very big worry. This one was particularly aimed at Cape Town, that they were saying that they were taking tourists around, but the filth on the streets and where they were going was a big, major concern. And I don't think that Johannesburg is immune to that. I've seen it myself. I live here. You know, in terms of keeping a city clean, in terms of making a good impression to the visitors that do come here so that they return, what do you do as the city of Johannesburg to ensure that we do put our best foot forward, and that this is a clean city for not only those that live in it, but for people that visit as well?
Yes, one of our 10 mayoral priorities undertook by the executive mayor, Herman Mashaba, is to make Johannesburg a safe and clean city, to be habitable and visited mostly by visitors. What are we doing? The mayor is spearheading a campaign called SABC. One of the key objectives of the campaign is to keep the city clean. The mayor himself gets to be on the ground and conduct a cleanup campaign. Then conduct cleanup campaigns that are aiming to make it more habitable and clean. So to make it a much more cleaner city that is meeting all standards of the city that has to be most visited as Johannesburg, we achieve our objectives through the mayoral campaign called SABC.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for talking to us here on the program. The Director of Tourism for the city of Joburg, Thandibuhle Ngulwa, thank you very much for being our guest here on the program. So you can hear that things are getting loud in here. The event is about to kick off at 9 o'clock. I'm looking for this map just to give you an idea of how big Meetings Africa actually is. We've got exhibitors from Botswana, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Mauritius, Namibia, Nigeria, Rwanda, Swaziland, Tanzania, Togo, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, all represented. They were saying that this is the biggest Meetings Africa that they've had to date, and this has been going on for a good couple of years. So I hope that's a great success for everybody that's showcasing here over the next couple of days. It's the official opening, and we're going to see the Minister of Tourism opening Meetings Africa 2019 in a couple of minutes' time. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye to you. We're going to hand you over to the band that's been playing outside. You'd swear this was a night function. We've already got that soul jazz happening outside, but so this will kick you off for a wonderful soundtrack to your day. Have a beautiful one, and we'll see you again tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a reminder that trading is open downstairs, ladies and gentlemen, level -2. So please make your way downstairs. All traders. Okay, you can follow this lovely lady over here. All traders, please follow these beautiful people right here. For the sake of your feelings, I refrain from my opinion. of how you run your business and your personal affairs. But since you asked me and you really wanted to know, I forced myself to tell you I'd rather go. Keep in mind it's clear and apparent your ruthless ways will take you as far as your grave. If you had time, would you change your direction? Lift the foot off the heart of
the LGBTI community still facing challenges on the continent.
We don't live here as Kenyans because we can't access any human right. As a gay person in Kenya, you can't.
We petition for us to be loved and people to accept us.
On African Perspective this week, we focus on the plight of the LGBTI community in Africa. Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Central African Time on SABC News.